All right, I think I'm going to call this video From Near Death to Ironman.
To Dennis's near death.
Yeah, really. So today. So, you notice we got matching shirts. When do you wear the shirt?
After you finish.
After you finish the race. It is law for people who understand how the world works. We just did the half Ironman Lake Springfield. Wouldn't have gotten it done without him. He helped pace me along. And this will be the last time I do a half Ironman. I'm retiring. It's been 21 years. I had a failed attempt 2 years ago. And actually today went, while slower than one, it went well. And the last time you were on a podcast, I'm going to put a picture up here, you were in a wheelchair.
Mm-hmm.
Told you were never going to run again. I think you were also more concerned about being able to walk and function fully at that time.
Yeah.
It looked like you were going to be okay for that, but it was a long road ahead. Since that podcast, you've done another Ironman.
Mm-hmm.
You've done this half and 3 other Olympics and hiking. So I guess you proved the doctors wrong. That whole experience, what would you say is the greatest positive change you've gotten out of that in your perspective?
There's no limitation in life. Like, anything is possible. I am lucky in the physical circumstances that I was able to recover, but there's no limitation if you put your mind to something and put continuous effort day after day at it.
So if a guy who hasn't taken care of his body decided enough is enough, I'm going to start working towards a goal, and it doesn't have to be a half Ironman. Good Lord, be smarter than that. It might be a 10K to start. It might be CrossFit or weightlifting. There's really no limits. What were the 2 oldest people, the oldest female and oldest male you saw today?
Wasn't there an 83?
83-year-old man doing the sprint. There was an 86?
He was 86.
Oh, there's one marked 83. So he was,
Okay.
I thought he was a badass. So it turns out there was somebody even more badass. And there was a 74-year-old woman who didn't look, and you know the funny part is, 74-year-old didn't look 74. You know, 83-year-old looked like he was in his 70s. But again, I would argue by taking care of yourself, never giving into society's comfort, eating shit, you end up doing better, being better, feeling better. How important would you say gratitude is in your life now?
That is the one thing I learned. Is every day I put something I'm grateful for. So the event that happened to me, I didn't get to take a breath of air for 2 hours straight, gasped, and then when that got lifted off, I got the gratitude of getting to breathe. Ever since then, everything's a gift. If you can just pick one thing each day, maybe 2, and go, I am grateful for it, and it can be something simple. Grateful that you're walking, grateful that you're able to brush your teeth. It can be, if you want to get deep, grateful for the inner beauty you have inside or your gift to the world. Do it every day. It solves a lot of problems.
I would even argue your daily post about gratitude that you do on your Facebook page, you could turn that into a book. Make it into an annual meditation for people. I think that would, you'd be surprised how well that might go. Look at the houses we live in. When you look at globally, how blessed we all are. Poor in the United States is still a car, running water, 2 TVs, air conditioning. You know, we've in many ways got it blessed. And then we decide to go do things like spending way too many hours. He'd have been done many hours sooner if it wasn't for me. But it was about finishing. It wasn't about the time. Thank heavens.
I got a question for you.
Okay.
How did you get here? What did you do in the race to get to the finish line? Because a lot of us, we take and we go, hey, I know I'm not eating right. I know I'm not exercising. I'm stuck in this rut, and it sucks. But it is so far. A half my Ironman, a 5K seems like a mountaintop to climb. How do you get to there, what do you do the first day?
So I made the decision I wanted to be in the best shape of my life by 60. Which is counterintuitive because as you age, you lose muscle mass and all. And I've been doing CrossFit again now for coming up on 2 years this fall. I am actually physically the strongest I've ever been. And I've used 75 hard as another self-discipline tool. And I recommitted to my health. And that means Melanie doesn't get to eat shit food very often because I do the cooking and there's not a lot of ingredients that aren't fresh, and there's not a lot of things that come out of a box. Now I'm not done. Actually, I'm going to fine tune again. I kind of look at it as stages. So I lost a bunch of weight in the last year. I've gotten stronger. I've pushed myself in CrossFit. The Murph workout, I went from never doing but a half, taking 36 minutes. I did a full Murph this year for the first time. Ring row pull-ups, because I can't do 100 pull-ups. And I did that in only 11 minutes longer. I did it in 47 and change. And I was ecstatic. I couldn't have imagined years ago doing that. And so I keep pushing myself. And I love CrossFit because of the clock. Because I'm competing against myself. I'm the one who can suck it up, keep pushing, or mail it in. I'm not going to mail it in. And it is in a group setting, which helps. Yes, it's you against the clock, but people are going to know if you mail it in. And I married a beautiful woman who's 12 years younger than me. So if I don't take care of my health, I'm not going to get the years I want out of our relationship. We see too many people in their 60s and 70s. They look like they're 20 years older. They can't do anything. Got an So, I just feel I owe it to myself and my family, my children, to Melanie. Yeah. So, and like I said, I made the decision. I want to be the best shape of my life, 60. That'll be this coming March. And to celebrate that, Charlie and I are going to do the Camino de Francais. It's like 490 miles. And when I made that decision 5 years ago, I had people go, "You should do it sooner, because you'll be 60 when you're doing it." Like they see that as old. And I'm like, I got 22 more decades of full-on being and enjoying life. And then I'll slow down in my 80s. I can honestly say in my 80s, I'm not going to probably be doing a triathlon. Maybe CrossFit.
Maybe not. Maybe.
Maybe. That would be...
Will I be 60?
Huh?
How old will I be? 65?
Oh, my God.
I'll have to ask you to do one. It might happen.
Oh, shit.
This is a good idea.
That's what got me in this predicament to begin with.
Idea. Yeah.
If you wouldn't have talked about doing this together, I would have never done another half Ironman. Never.
It's hard to say no to a guy that's in a wheelchair, ain't it?
It really is. You'd like to think you go, but it's like, and we, it's not like we had a good relationship. You weren't just a guy in a wheelchair. That'd be easy to ignore. So, men, are you taking care of yourself? Are you prioritizing your health? Are you challenging yourself? Because at the end of the day, you get one life. And the weirdest thing about life is 5 and 10 years goes like that. But it's still a long time. But it goes like that if you're not intentional and you're not truly living an amazing life. You're just existing. The time just goes by. I want to be the 80-year-old guy who still plays golf with his son. And I saw last year there was a father-son ahead of us on the golf course. Dad was in his 80s. Dad was moving slow, but Dad was still out there playing golf with his son. And that's kind of my long-term goal too. Again, strength, taking care of myself, longevity. While I will normally eat less calories, I will tell you tonight is not one of those days. There's going to be some calories consumed. And your watch said
3,600 and some odd calories.
Yeah, so I probably burned more.
More.
Yeah. Older, slower, a little chunkier.
I was drafting off of you. I didn't burn as many.
Drafting might have gone the other way. Within the legal bounds of triathlon.
20 seconds
20
max
seconds
at a time.
max at a time. We wouldn't, All right. So, guys, challenge yourself. Same thing with your relationships. If your relationship sucks, what are you doing to work on yourself so that you can lead change in it? Whatever the change may be. So, contact information is below. And if you want to have a talk, shoot me an email. We'll catch you later. Thanks, guys.